Today, we're going on a journey into a place that's, well, it's constantly in the news, but so often misunderstood. Afghanistan.
Exactly. The idea is to get beyond the headlines.
Okay, let's unpack this. We want to explore the stunning geography, the deep echoes of ancient empires, and the vibrant culture. It's about building a framework so you can turn a news report into real understanding.
That is the goal. We're not just listing facts. This deep dive is about what actually sustains this nation. We'll look at how the land itself shapes strategy, how tradition binds people, and how it all, connects. We're looking for the patterns.
And when you start looking into it, the first thing that just jumps out is the sheer drama of the landscape. The geography is all about these incredible rugged contrasts.
It's the defining feature, absolutely. You have the Hindu Kush mountains, which they just rise up like jagged teeth. It's this massive rocky backbone for the whole country.
And it's not just a mountain range, is it? It's a barrier.
It's a fundamental barrier that has, for centuries, separated the north from the south. That's where you get these really distinct regional identities from.
Right, and even with all that ruggedness, you find these pockets of, well, almost magical beauty. I'm thinking of the Band-e Amir lakes. The descriptions are always of these sapphire and turquoise jewels.
A perfect contrast. And that contrast defines everything because you go south from there and the landscape just completely shifts. Suddenly you're in the rolling red dunes of the Registan desert.
From glacial peaks to searing desert.
Exactly. That stark duality makes everything, from farming to just building a road, so incredibly challenging.
But it also creates these natural strongholds. The Panjshir Valley, for instance, it's always called a fortress of green.
And its geography is precisely why. It's surrounded by these unforgiving peaks, which is what allowed it to, resist outside control so many times throughout history.
So understanding the geography is really about understanding strategy.
It is paramount. These mountains aren't just pretty obstacles, they're gatekeepers. You look at the Salang Pass, high up, cutting through the ice. It is a critical lifeline connecting the north to the south.
And the historical routes are just as important. The Hair Pass, for instance.
Oh, that was a central artery for the Silk Road. For thousands of years, you had conquerors, traders, travelers.
Sure.
Everyone came through there. It's the definition of a crossroads.
Which always implies conflict, of course.
And vulnerability, too. The geography defined the regional anchors we see today. You have the Wakhan Corridor, that thin little strip of land.
Reaching toward the roof of the world.
Right. It's this fascinating link to other cultures. But at the same time, it's one of the most remote and isolated places on Earth.
Then up north, you have the Amu Darya River.
A powerful ancient boundary. And the seasons change everything there.
How so?
Well, winter just blankets Kabul in white, cuts off whole communities. But then spring arrives. And for a short time, the valleys turn into these emerald paradises.
And then autumn, I read about the golden poplar trees.
A beautiful stark gold. It's this incredible flash of color right before the long dry season returns.
So if the geography shapes the people, the architecture tells their story. And there is so much history literally etched into the stone there.
There really is.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
It's because these cities aren't just cities, they're layers of history. You take Balkh, for example, known as the mother of cities. Its ruins, they still hold the secrets of the Silk Road. Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, it all flourished there.
And in the west, there's Herat. Very strong Persian influence there.
Very strong. The citadel has stood guard over that city for more than 2,000 years. It's a monument to empire.
But it's not just a fortress.
No, not at all. The Great Mosque of Herat. It's just spectacular. You're looking at 800 years of Islamic art and devotion in one place. The tile work tells you everything you need to know about Afghanistan's central role in the culture of the Islamic world.
And then you contrast that with something like the Minaret of Jam.
Standing completely alone in a remote valley. It feels impossible. It's this lonely masterpiece that just whispers of a vanished empire.
And Kabul itself has been so central. Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire, chose to be buried there.
Yes, in the terrace gardens, the Baghi Babur. It's a place of real serenity and calm, which is such a contrast when you think about his power.
A total contrast to the Darul Aman Palace.
Right. Built to be a symbol of modernization, and now it's scarred by war. But it's still standing, and for many, it symbolizes a hope for restoration.
There are some really unique structures, too. The stupa of Takhti Rustam.
Ah, that one is fascinating, because stupas are built up, but this one was carved downwards into the bedrock itself, a completely different approach.
And the star-shaped minarets in Ghazni.
Silent witnesses to the Ghazmanim Empire. That history is just everywhere you look.
And not just ancient history. You have places like the caves of Tora Bora.
Deep in the White Mountains, woven right into the fabric of very recent memory.
And you can still, climb the 40 steps of Chalzina and see inscriptions carved by Emperor Babur himself.
That personal connection.
Yeah.
The history isn't just in a museum. It's carved right into the rock.
Okay, so let's shift from the grand scale of empires to the more intimate details of daily life. This is where you see the social bonds, the traditions that hold everything together.
And the absolute bedrock of that is hospitality. It's sacred. It's this concept known as Melmastia, and it starts with something as simple as a cup of green tea.
The idea that offering shelter and food to a visitor is just fundamental.
It's non-negotiable, and the ultimate sign of that bond is breaking bread together.
We have to talk about the food, the fresh naan baked in those clay tandoor ovens. It's the warm heart of every single meal.
It really is, and you can smell it in the streets,
Yeah.
along with sizzling bolani,
The stuffed flatbread.
a favorite snack. But the main meals are communal, gathered around the dasturkhan, the tablecloth on the floor. It's a physical symbol of community, sharing things like Kabuli pulao.
And that focus on tradition, you see it so clearly in the craftsmanship. The Afghan carpets are world famous for a reason.
The patience of the weavers. I mean, they're tying thousands and thousands of knots, creating patterns that tell the story of their tribe, of their region. It's an act of cultural preservation.
It extends to other things too, like the pottery in Istalif.
With that signature blue glaze. It's beautiful, but it's also about keeping an ancient craft alive, sustaining an entire local economy.
Social life really seems to revolve around these hubs, these gathering places.
Like the Chaikhana, the tea house, that's the social center. It's where you hear stories, where poetry is shared, and where, business deals are made.
And the arts are so important for that identity.
Especially movement and sound. The sound of the Rubab, that two-stringed lute, it carries the musical heritage of the whole country.
And for celebrations, there's the Atan.
The circle dance. It was originally a warrior's dance, and you can still feel that powerful collective energy when you see it performed.
And we can't forget the nomadic life, the Kochi nomads.
Still wandering with the seasons, carrying their homes and their history with them. It's a direct link to the ancient rhythms of the land.
I love how even the details speak to this artistic spirit. The trucks, for instance.
Their canvases on wheels, decorated with intricate paintings, mirrors, poetry. It's mobile culture.
That spirit seems fundamental. I've read that poetry is revered by everyone, from kings to truck drivers.
It's the language of the soul there. And alongside all that deep tradition, you have a very modern passion.
Cricket.
Cricket. It has become a massive unifying force. It transcends all the old lines and brings so much joy and hope, especially to the youth.
So moving from culture to commerce, let's talk about the incredible wealth of the land, because that wealth has always driven both prosperity and conflict.
Trade is in the blood of this land. Historically, its value was measured in spices and silk and gold. But today, the mineral wealth is just staggering.
Lapis Lazuli.
From the mountains of Badakhshan for millennia, the world's finest, that deep blue stone was prized by pharaohs.
And back to Panjshir Valley, that fortress of green, it also holds emeralds.
Panjshir emeralds. They are world-class, with an intense green that rivals the best from anywhere else.
But that mineral wealth can also be a curse, can't it?
It often has been. It fuels empires, but it also fuels local conflict because it's so valuable and so hard to control. It's always a factor.
But the agricultural wealth seems maybe more sustainable. Saffron, the red gold.
A perfect example. Those fields of purple crocus produce the world's most expensive spice. It's a precious, high-value crop that gives real income to rural communities.
And the fruit. Kandahar is legendary for its pomegranates.
Bursting with those ruby red seeds, just incredible.
And the dried fruits and nuts are a huge export. I read about a really unique way they dry grapes.
In the kishmishkhanas, yes. There are these air-vented mud houses. They hang the grapes inside so they become these sweet golden raisins without being damaged by the sun. It's ingenious.
This connection to the land just dictates everything in rural life.
You still see it. Shepherds with their Karakul flocks, a timeless way of life. And high above them, in the Pamir, you have the magnificent Marco Polo sheep and, of course, the snow leopard.
The ghost of the Afghan mountains.
A perfect description.
And that trade, it all has to move. The economy seems to run on cash, on the money changers and the bazaars.
Operating with huge stacks of currency. It looks chaotic, but it's a vital part of commerce.
And we have to talk about buzkashi.
We absolutely do, the national sport. It translates to goat grabbing.
It's a fierce display of horsemanship.
Fierce is the right word. It's brutal, but it showcases skills that are directly connected to the ruggedness of the terrain and the warrior identity. It's more than a game, it's a cultural survival skill.
So as we look at the country now, you see these major cities that anchor their regions.
Exactly. You have Mazar-i-Sharif in the north, famous for the Blue Mosque, but it's really the commercial hub linking the country to Central Asia.
And in the east, Jalalabad, the city of evergreen.
A much warmer, lush retreat, a real contrast to the high mountains.
And Kandahar in the south. We mentioned the pomegranates, but it's the heart of the South, isn't it? An ancient city of trade and power.
It is. And in all these places, resilience and ambition meet.
And the ultimate sign of hope, I think, is that thirst for knowledge. Kabul University, for all the challenges, has long been a center of learning.
It reflects the human capital, the hopes of the next generation. That investment in education is still there.
So ultimately, the real wealth isn't the lapis or the ruins.
No. It's the resilient, tenacious spirit of the people. It's this incredibly rich tapestry of tribes and tongues. Pashtun, Tajik, Hazara, Uzbek, all woven together into one nation.
The flag itself tells that story. The black for the dark past.
The red for the bloodshed and struggle.
And the green for hope and prosperity. Even in that rugged landscape, you find those hidden gardens, that desire for peace.
And the mountains. Well, the mountains where we started, they remain. They're eternal, watching over it all.
So what does this all mean? We've looked at so many layers here. From the jewel-like lakes to the downward carved stupa, the art of the carpet weavers, and that sacred power of hospitality.
That really is the nation's moral compass.
It is.
You know, if you think about those ruined caravanserais, the old inns on the Silk Road, they're still there. They whisper stories of all the travelers who rested there centuries ago. This land was the bridge between East and West, defined by connection.
A land defined by connection.
So the question for you to think about is this. In a place that is so fundamentally defined by transit and outside influence, how does a deep foundational culture of generosity and open doors survive when that very connection so often leads to interference and conflict? That tension between profound hospitality and the constant struggle for autonomy. That's what will define the next chapter for this amazing land.